Hello and welcome to the 2023 Waco Annual Charity Open presented by Prodigy. We are here back in Waco, Texas at the Brazos East Park, the Beast. You're watching Jomez with Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
The course that we're about to play today, if you guys have seen this coverage, you know this is as different from Las Vegas as it gets. We've gone from the wide open, the wind, the cold, to essentially the most ideal conditions you can really even think of. While we're at it, there is a really cool thing going on right now on the Jomez site. We got 50% off all Innova discs. Go check that out. We're going to have that sale going out throughout the weekend.
20% off all, but 50% off those classic slow
Oh,
mezzes.
the slow mezzes, right.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so there's a sale going on. Go check it out. But yeah, number 3 course rated out of a lot here in Texas, big disc golf state, Texas, but Waco presents the Brazos East and the Beast course. And that's what we're playing today. It's a great mix of open and wooded, and it can get windy out here, but we're not going to see too much of that in round 1. We've got former 2-time champion, second-ranked player in the world, Paul McBeth, looking cool with the flower shirt and the glasses. 18 under, played here a few years ago. Kevin Jones, what an incredible starting event for him. This season has started off so well. He's going to look to bounce back at the Prodigy event. And another Prodigy player here, Isaac Robinson. It's going to be exciting to see him lace up these lines in the woods. First time seeing Isaac this season. And of course, another Prodigy player, Gannon Buhr. This was his big breakout event a few years ago when I believe he was still 15 years old. First time I'd ever heard of him personally, and he really showed up well out here, looking for good things this week.
Let's start it off with hole 1, par 3, 291. They opened up this gap a little bit more this year, so going down the middle is a more viable option. Out of bounds left, out of bounds right, past the little barriers there this year, so you can hit and roll down, get stopped by that barrier, get that birdie.
Tell me what you guys think about this characterization of this course as we watch McBeth here. I feel like this course kind of alternates between holes like this that you get really mad if you don't birdie and holes that absolutely terrify you. And it's, in a way, that's a perfect shot. It's kind of like the most frustrating and tricky mentally type of holes in disc golf to me. It's like a kind of birdie or die, and then like you're really scared to bogey, and it kind of just keeps jumping you back and forth between those two kinds of holes.
You got to sprint, and then you got to pump the brakes.
A little bit. It can be challenging, I feel like.
I agree with that.
This is a common play, this big hyzer. Slight tailwind today. Really low wind overall for what we're used to here. This wall is going to save him. There's no way that goes out of bounds. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, in years past, there was a little bit of a line between that wall and the OB line, and that was very tough because you do see a lot of shots do exactly what Kevin's did there, roll down that hill. I wonder if Isaac's going up. It looks like he's lining up the middle shot, and I think they opened this up to encourage more of this play instead of just doing the big hyzer play that you see so often.
Yeah, this feels pretty Isaac to me. That result also. Very nice.
Rounding out your card for the 250 tee time from Urbandale, Iowa, Gannon Buhr.
So I first became fascinated with the backhand form and form overall when I had my knee surgery in 2020. Couldn't even throw a disc for 4 months and ended up having to kind of relearn my whole game. I think some of the players I look at are Simon Lizotte, Eagle McMahon, older videos of Will Schustrick. Maybe for touch shots, Paul McBeth, he's really great at those. You can see why they're successful and why the shots are looking so easy and why they can replicate it every single time. I thought if I can implement that into my game, that I can just take it to the next level. So for me in backhand form, the easiest tip I can give and the quickest tip is the power pocket. You think about like a whip, it's loose, it's very fluid, there's not any tension through it, and the same thing happens with your upper body. It's really important to get the elbow out in front of the shot, your elbow will be leading. The disc is tight to your body, so it creates a coil effect, and that's where you get the power. Elbow tight, and then everything just snaps. Waco is kind of special because it's still short. Like the course is not a long course at all, especially in the woods. You know, you have 250-foot holes. You don't really see that on tour anymore. And I actually enjoyed it a lot because it's fun. Like it's fun disc golf. Last weekend winning the Memorial after being down 10 strokes with 2 rounds to play, really proved to myself that I can make any comeback happen. And I'm excited for this year on tour, and my expectations are pretty high.
Gannon Buhr, a form guru. Apparently he spends a lot of time analyzing the forms of others, as he says there, but it shows. I mean, he's got it locked up, and so does this card on hole 1.
Yeah, really making that look easy.
I mean, look at that flag, though. I mean, how often do we see that on tour these days? That flag is just dead still.
Kid's pretty smooth off the tee, he really is, and he's tall. And when you get taller people, it's tougher to look very smooth,
Well,
I believe.
you see,
he does.
You see that with his, when he throws a backhand, it kind of has that AB throwing a forehand, Eagle throwing a forehand, where it doesn't look like much at all. And then you're like, wait, Gannon just threw it 550? Like, accurately? What on earth? I believe in the All-Star event, like the very last hole, he threw a shot that, I mean, if you guys were watching that, you know what I'm talking about. But he hit this mandatory. The disc traveled like 600 feet and hit like a gap. It's just insane.
Checking in with these scores. All birdies, all drop-ins. 94th place for the guys. They're going to have to pick that up.
On to hole 2, par 4, 631, and hole 1 is the 3rd easiest hole. This is the 4th easiest. It kind of starts off a little bit soft out here. You kind of have to get things going. Big drive down the middle, setting yourself up for a pretty short approach. This hole does get tricky when there's a headwind, which often happens. The Brazos River does come into play, but on this day, you really need to make sure you're keeping this in the fairway.
Pretty conservative, but that's all you need. McBeth goes low and inside, plenty of distance. He'll have less than 200 to the basket.
These first 2 holes definitely fit into that category that you're talking about, Nate.
Paul told me he went to the glasses due to a nasty poison ivy on the eye.
Oh, no. Yeah, Paul has suffered from that throughout his career. He really...
Very sensitive.
Very, very sensitive to it.
He just looks at it and gets it.
Yep, that's why it gets him right in the eye.
Yep. All these are just going to be formalities. Just same, pretty much the same spot, right in that little grouping on that hill. Sometimes people flip it over a little bit to get a little extra distance. See if Gannon does that. Yeah, a little bit more.
Look how smooth that was. Tree. I mean, just that thing is just cooking.
It is.
Past Paul's and that hit a tree 45 feet high. And De La Viega is a place where there's a lot of poison ivy in the past. Like even on 85-degree days, you're seeing McBeth out there in pants just to protect himself. Kevin.
It is thick over there. That grass is thick, so it's pretty friendly. Let's see if Paul gets this turned over. They're all kind of sneaking to that side, though.
This is This is going out of bounds.
Wow.
Shocking mistake there from McBeth.
He'll have a pressure putt to save his par.
I'm surprised they're all going with this sidearm play and all leaking it to the right.
Yeah, the overstable flex surprises me a little bit. More, maybe just a flatter, wider shot.
This is somebody not going with an overstable flex forehand anytime soon. Isaac just putting it in the bullseye.
Chicken Guru?
The Falafel Kings.
Guru. Gyro Guru.
Yeah, Guru, like Gannon. Do you guys like Euros?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Euros are great. Nice putt.
Very good putt.
That was necessary that you said Euro, because I really thought you meant Guru. I wasn't quite picking up on Paul's sarcasm.
It's tough sometimes. Here's Paul with a good save.
Yeah. Gosh, a bogey here feels like a double anywhere else. Two 2/3 of the field picking up the birdie on this hole, and 3/4 of this card picking up the birdie on hole 2.
Well, there he is, moving on up to 79th place. Pretty good.
Good jump, actually. Just one birdie, moving up nearly 20 spots.
Hole 3, 320 feet. This one is off to the left just a little bit. There's a couple new trees here. You see the mulch below them. Those make that backhand line just a little bit tougher, but if you're throwing that, you want to go flat with the fairway driver and then try to fade it up the hill. There's also a couple gaps on the left side to take a forehand through.
It's hard to believe that those trees were just planted because I feel like they've always been here. This gap, was it really this wide open before those trees were planted? It's hard to believe that.
Maybe I don't know that they're new this year, but I think they're fairly new.
That's a pretty technical line. Getting in on Anheuser, left to right, splitting the gap, getting all the way to the basket. Very good shot there from Kevin. Getting it on Anheuser actually does make this gap wider than doing this Heiser flip. Well, that's a little Anheuser too.
I don't think this is going to work back left enough, though. It's hard to climb that hill.
Not as overstable as the one that Kevin threw there.
And we'll get to see Isaac work for the first time. That's his first drive outside the bullseye. This is one of Gannon's favorite lines out of the hand, probably going with that A2 that he loves so much, and that is right up just outside the bullseye, but essentially exactly what he was looking for.
Not Paul's favorite shot, the flex. He likes that flat release.
Yeah, that's about his favorite shot right there. Oh.
But he's pretty good at it.
But that's the difference. He has to challenge those last ones, where that flex gives you a little more room potentially.
Gives you more room on both sides. Early part of the fairway and the late part.
And there's where it starts to get very frustrating for you, like you said, Jeremy. Couple misses and all of a sudden you're like, I
gotta scramble, I gotta get back into it. You know, then you start thinking about those holes that are bonus birdies and how do I attack those perhaps. The whole thing doesn't collapse just because you haven't birdied the first couple, but set you back a little bit. Isaac saves his par. I love seeing Kevin's shot there. It really shows the versatility. He obviously is a player who loves to throw those understable discs with Heiser. Really gets underneath the disc and lets the disc do the work. But for him to be able to so comfortably switch into that Anheuser roll and be able to execute that shot looking so natural really shows why he is such a consistent player on tour. Kevin with the perfect start, as is Gannon.
can't wait to see what that got them to.
Look, the people want this
52. I'm going to say
live
52.
check-in. We got to see.
52. Come on.
A lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Working their way up, though. We see you guys in the comments, though. We're going to make adjustments, and we're going to...
Maybe.
We'll take suggestions.
Don't get them too
This looks
confident,
perfect.
please.
Off the basket. Now it's rolling. It's headed for the OB. This needs to sit. Oh, my goodness. It's safe. Right on the line. She's going to have about a 30-foot putt for the win. Okay, here we go. The putt is up. Boom, it's in. Strong side with authority. What an incredible moment. Yes.
Hole 4, par 4, 441. One of the shortest par 4s you'll see on tour, and still somehow one of the scariest, because this rough on both sides, as you can see, is impossible. If you're about 3 feet off this fairway, you're very likely to be just pitching out, just trying to eke out 20 or 30 feet of forward progress to get up to this basket. So flat backhand that just moves a little left, if you can do that, you can kind of solve most of the puzzle of the hole from the tee. But easier said than done.
I mean, even if you do throw a really good drive, your approach is so touchy. This needs to get. See, I don't know.
That's going to be tough, I would say. It's not impossible, but he's pinched off on that right side.
He's
He'd like
loving
to move to the left.
If he's 8 feet left of that,
Yes.
he's loving it, and that's such a small difference as far as the fairway goes. But
That's how this hole works, though. This is going to be more left, but I think 2 left potentially. No, good roll. You're loving that one. That
Isn't
is
that crazy?
exactly 8 feet left.
wow, that is so weird. But yes, that's the difference between a great shot and a pretty okay shot.
And I'm not even going to, I think he got a good roll. I'm not even going to say he threw it great. I think this is great.
This is perfect.
Because that was not, that's always going to land there. Gannon sawed it off inside. Bad things could have happened. They didn't. Little straight.
I like it.
Oh, there it comes.
I like it a lot.
Uh-oh. A little tight on that little straggler, though.
It'll be a forehand, though, I think.
Zone forehand
he's,
coming.
He's under 150 in, probably. Right around there.
Oh, sit down. There you go. Because the river is right behind this. So if you let this approach get away from you, certainly possible to find some out of bounds down there, or at least a difficult putt.
Yeah, when you're tight on this side, you have got to go backhand turnover. You don't have room to swing that forehand, and a little ground play issue coming into the green, but Kevin will be looking at a scary birdie putt.
Oh.
That's the one. That is the one. That kills so many hopes and dreams after perfect drives.
Not Isaac's, though. That guy can putt.
Yeah, that's true. He's still dreaming. Oh, it won't be a forehand. What do we know?
Interesting.
Not much.
Not much.
Yeah, that looked
Yeah.
so easy.
He's so far up there, honestly. I thought it was I thought he had a little more work left. Obviously, backhand or forehand, just fine from there.
Isaac giving it a long run.
Oh.
Excellent effort. High left chains.
Kevin not laying this up ever in his whole life.
And
Sits, though.
Yeah.
he was such an incredibly poised putter 2 weeks ago. That was a good effort. I mean, you don't want to go high at this basket with that river looming large behind.
No, anything that gets over that edge, that's one of the steepest edges we got in disc golf right there. That's going. And even if it's not on a roller angle, it's still sliding down to about 25 feet. Nothing's stopping it, really.
And something you got to think about when you play on targets that have the flat tops is the skip when it goes high launches, and you have to be a little bit wary about that at times, considering that into the effort that you give.
Now I would say kind of heading into the easiest stretch of the course, the section you really got to get it done. I would say these next 4 holes, I feel like all these guys are looking to get at least 3 of the next 4. And this is kind of that section that my mind goes to when I think, are you going to have a bad round or a kind of a flat round? That's not how I meant to say. Bad round, good round, or kind of a flat round, not a bad. If the only options were bad or flat, get out of there. Oh, that's not good.
A little pinball action for Gannon.
Good to land in the middle, though. This is a pretty easy hole, but if you do kick in the woods, it
Yes.
can get a little frustrating because there are some guardian trees up to the basket that'll make you earn it.
This is what you want to see.
And
Not if you're a competitor.
Can usually count on that
Yeah.
little anti-skip into that hillside.
But if you were in the mind of Paul McBeth, that is
and the fans want to see it. So it's like
not
McBeth
if you're
and
a
the
fan
fans.
of Kevin Jones.
Look, Macbeth's
Jeez.
Macbeth's
Jeez.
in 90th, you guys.
Yeah, take it
I don't
easy
mind
on
seeing him take a birdie or two. The guy's in 90th place.
Oh, get wrecked. That was a bummer. That looked pretty good.
Yeah.
That was going to certainly start moving right towards the center.
Am I selfish for being happy that he kind of kicks to like circle 2 so I can watch him just give it a good little bid? I love watching him
Yeah,
putt,
me
man.
too.
It's better than just a pure job, park job, I think.
It's going to have to work for it. a
Yeah,
little bit.
wow. A little bit of trouble after starting off perfect through the first 4. And here you go, Paul.
All right.
Perfect height.
Yeah.
And not bad speed either. Going
All right,
up
I
the
take
hill.
it back. He can park one, I guess.
He did park hole 1.
Here we go.
Nice putt.
That's that solid delivery. I love Kevin Jones' pace. It doesn't seem wildly fast, but it's confident and direct.
Really? You don't think that that's pretty fast?
I think
Obviously you don't. What about you, Nate?
The pace of the putt coming in.
Yeah.
It's on the faster side.
I think that's our sport these days.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Our targets
No, I agree.
are built to catch faster putts now.
Yeah.
Here's what a good
that.
speed looks like. This is perfect pace.
But McBeth is also, oh boy. McBeth
Splash
comes from the
out
era of the Mach 3s and the targets that
Yeah.
were a little bit looser in the middle. And so you had to kind of design your putt around a little bit softer arc. Players who are coming up in the last 8-9 years who play with baskets like we have nowadays, they can go a little bit faster without having to worry about it sliding through.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
I think Kevin Jones' putt certainly could hit the pole and come back out, but it usually doesn't.
And calm down with the comments because I know it's going to come in. Oh my gosh, he went right through the basket with his good pace, Paul.
It was
He was
left
left
side.
side.
Left
Stop.
side. Yeah.
Come at me right now. I'm in your head.
It must be hole 6 because Paul's already challenged our viewers to a fight. All right, hole 6, par 3, 267-foot forehand or backhand anhyzer for the Isaac Robinsons of the world. Just a little putter shot for him, just that slightly breaks down the hill. Basket's not really elevated, but it's got that little birdie strike box down there that you get to hear a nice little clunk if you throw a good drive. Kevin putting a little bit of anhyzer, just enough to be able to force its way down the fairway. That's a good drive.
Kevin's good, man. You see him just literally just changing so many different angles out there.
Oh,
From
no.
super hyzer flip to that flex line, just like you said, Jerm, and then the versatility to go sidearm here. Great putting with a lot of pace, but it's pretty good.
The toughest part of this hole, it's not that tough of a hole, but the toughest part of the hole is if you do exactly what Gannon did there, because it is a little bit thick on that short right side of the fairway.
I'm a little surprised to see Gannon go backhand.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not surprised to see Isaac, obviously, but Gannon, I would think, would have a little forehand for this. Not that the backhand can't work. Clearly, in this group, it cannot. The two backhands, not good results. Wow, this is potentially really bad. Trying to throw right through these branches immediately.
Yeah, look at this. Oh, it's terrible over here. You just don't expect that. This hole, wow, really well done. This hole is just one that you're definitely thinking in your head, this is one I have to get a good look at. You're thinking C2 at worst, and then you're all of a sudden put yourself in this position where you got to save the par.
Gosh, he's nuts.
Yeah.
Isaac's out here trying to save birdie. And McBeth gets the line right this time, and look at that perfect pace, Paul, right over the rim and in.
I would like to see like a radar gun, like get
on the
everybody's putts. That would be very interesting.
This
to
guy
me.
might top the charts.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's pretty close to the same. It looks like it's going in super fast. I think what we are impressed with Gannon is he can do it from so far away, and it goes in at the same pace. You know what I mean?
I'm going to put my early leader to top the charts, one Vaino Makela,
Okay.
for just highest speed into the basket.
And he looks cool doing it because he's got that left hand just sitting on the hip like he's like ready to go to war or something, you know? Like he's
Fencing.
just like going to protect a castle.
Like Vaino into like a 10-mile-an-hour headwind, it might be going 60 miles an hour. It's slamming.
Kevin Jones, hot start continues, just one par through 6. Working his way up the leaderboard.
Looking at our check-in, couple of 10 unders, I think, in the clubhouse. So that gives you an idea of what it's going to take to be in contention after this first round. These guys well on pace. All of them still have that possibility to push into that double digits area.
You see that Adam Hammis fella right there, 7 through 8.
That's not bad.
I was
That's
playing
not
with
bad.
Paul Oman, who was 8th through 8. He started off fuego.
Hole 7, par 4, 429. Shortest par 4 ever. besides that other one.
I think this
Second.
one's
Oh, no,
shorter.
this one is a short.
shorter.
Yeah.
Yep.
And much easier.
And just it's a tight gap right off the tee there. A little mandatory on the left that you want to get through. But if you hit this window, pretty manageable shot into a pretty tough green, I would say. It's on a slope.
Yeah.
But
it's the easiest hole in the course at the end of the day.
It's not the easiest hole in the course.
Yeah, it is. But the stats for this single day might not back that up. But in terms of, is it? Yes.
I like you just
I would
blatantly
say
disregard.
I
the
would say
stats.
you could be right because I think hole 1 is the easiest hole ever when it's calm.
I was a little bit surprised to see Gannon. I mean, no, Kevin not do this.
Oh,
That
would be on the
Yeah.
green.
If that's just a foot tighter, that thing is parked under the basket. Kevin Jones likes to throw that forehand that does that similar shape, and then just electing to get it out in the fairway. Can't fault him for that. Isaac doing the same. He'll be out there near McBeth. Those are primo position. We should have 3 good looks for the birdie and 1 eagle look coming up for Gannon.
This might be an eagle look. Wow. Great shot.
There's that versatility.
Yeah, seriously. Quality disc golfer.
Perfect. Perfect drive. Just dead center. Taking the hole apart.
Even kind of gave it an effort. Like if that just is, a foot left, that draws metal of some kind.
This guy just goes jumper.
Yeah. And thinking about making it.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at this
Oh,
drive.
made it to the bowl. An opportunity for the 2 on hole 7.
We'll see the pace on this bad boy. This is not that much.
Oh, chains and cage just barely not high enough. That basket sits so high from where Gannon is standing right there. It is easily 15 feet over his head. Could even be closer to 20.
Wow. You would need to stack like
A Gannon and an Anthony and a Calvin or something.
yeah. Then maybe you got a chance.
at a level putt.
He said, "Nope, don't
Don't
even
you dare
think
touch
about it."
that. This is my turn. It's my turn, and you back up. That's exactly what he said.
Word for word.
Hole 8, par 3, 213. We just played the shortest par 4 in America, and now we're going to play the shortest par 3 in America. Very tight, very, very, very tight little fairway here. And then tough green. I mean, it just slopes down to the right. So backhand putter shot, forehand flex putter shot.
This is the shortest hole on tour, yeah?
It's got to be.
Probably.
Just in America. I've seen some pretty short holes
In
once you get outside the...
They do mess around with a par 2 every once in a while over there on the other side of the pond. Yeah.
Swedish market there.
I kind of... It wouldn't make me mad if every course had a hole like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh, totally.
It's
That's
a sketchy putt, and it makes you want to run it because this hole feels easy. So you come up like 50 short, everyone else is parked. I think it creates nice drama. Like that right there. Decision time right there. To go for that putter to lay that up, because it is a sketchy green for sure.
I feel like this relates to more courses than the wide open courses do. So, I mean,
yeah.
more people are playing holes that are wooded like this. And look at this. We've got
yeah.
wood specialist Isaac Robinson from the tight woods of Georgia missing the line pretty bad.
Is Gannon running that? What do you guys think? I say
No.
yes.
I say yes.
You say yes?
Ooh.
I say no.
I think
he's still running it.
He's bidding it because Heiser's back.
He's crazy guy. Yeah, bid.
Yeah, that's a bid. Yep, you guys were right.
Good putt there. Right in the middle. And there's your
Yeah.
there's your 7 under through 8.
Yep.
And it happens quick. I mean, I was playing
Does
with Adam.
it?
I was playing with Adam Hammes,
Oh, okay.
and I didn't really. I mean, I knew he was playing good,
Yeah.
but it didn't feel like. I mean, you expect it from a
Yeah.
Kevin Jones, from these guys. Like when they're doing it, and you're playing alongside it, I just feel like, yeah, of course he birdied that. Of course he birdied that. And then you kind of stop and think about it, like, oh, I guess he birdied them all. But it's
I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if his card doesn't even know that he's 7 under because he's done it in a quiet way. There's not been anything extraordinary. You know,
Yeah, and it's
everything's
like
been in
he-
the circle or, you know, like a couple of good putts from back edge of circle 1.
yeah, but
and
not
he's
big
kind of
fist
messed up
pumpers.
No.
a couple times.
Sure,
You know.
sure. Now things get a little tougher. This is probably, for me, the scariest hole on this course. Hole 9, par 4, 519. Tons of fairway trees, terrible rough on both sides. So unless your drive makes it all the way to here, you're stressing. And most of the drives don't make it to here. You kick into the woods left or right, and it becomes a bogey almost at best instantly, I feel like.
It's the hardest hole in the course, Nate, and it averages 4.44. And thank goodness, as Kevin flies down this fairway, another beautiful drive, the flight that disc just took would have struck a tree in the middle of the fairway last year. They cut one down that was
They needed
absolutely a brutal tree that really made you make weird decisions off the tee.
You can see the stump.
Oh,
Oh, this is going to be better than Kevin's probably.
wow.
Like, still just as good.
Yep.
Maybe better because he's actually left.
You can see the stump if you look right down the middle of the fairway, just short of the main tree there. That's where that other tree was. Just
Oh, yeah, in the
there it
bowl?
is.
Oh,
there
wow.
it is. So
Deal.
from there you can play for birdie.
Loving
I
it.
don't know that you really quite can from where the other two guys are.
I don't think so either. It would take some kind of trick shot.
Get down. That is so fortunate. If that goes
yeah.
hard left, yikes.
Yep.
Or hard right, which is what I did. I almost made a nice putt off the tee on the last hole.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Does he make the corner there? If he does, that was phenomenal.
Yeah, I think that was really good effort regardless.
Wow, he is going to get aggressive.
And that's not
I don't think
good.
that was that. I don't think that makes a lot of sense, especially if you hit that little Twizzler up there.
We've seen that from McBeth on this hole in the past. He really wants to get up there in 2, and he always ends up looking high if he's not quite in position. And I guess he enticed Kevin to try the same, and
No.
it's a toss-up as to where those are now.
We'll see, because they certainly had a simple pitch around the corner to play for 4. So we'll see if either of them is punished or if they can still pitch out and it's all the same anyway.
And Gannon with that ideal drive. This is what he's left with. There's some roots on this green that can play tricky with the results, and it's going to sit down eventually at
Wow.
some point.
Wow.
Worst case scenario for that good of a shot.
Yeah.
So Isaac did not quite make the corner.
Yeah, and that's
Close, but you see how much trouble he's in. He's probably 120 from the basket.
And this was what I was worried about. If you come up short right side, you are in. I mean, look where they are. There's a reason why our camera guy can only see Paul's left arm.
I think McBeth will come to regret that over-the-top play. And Kevin
Nope,
will
clunks.
also.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is why this is the hardest hole in the course. We're about to see 3 bogeys.
This is a tricky little upshot too. It's always going to run away from the basket if you throw the correct shot. So you're going to be right in
Yeah.
that 25 to 30 foot range. It's tough. Unless you're throwing the sidearm, which is also tricky to
It
throw
is.
that
That
at
short.
that distance.
Yes.
You see those roots right there at the top, like nearing the top of the hill. Those prevent the slide up short because if you hit those,
Oh my gosh, that guy is
yeah,
good at putting.
needs to be good to make that bogey putt now because
Yeah.
going deep, that basket is protected on the right side and the back side.
Does McBeth have a way through here? Nearly. Great effort, but I really think,
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a roll of the dice. He could have executed the shot, I'm sure, but he had a cake walk of a 4 if he just plays it low around the corner.
Yeah, when you think about it, as Kevin lines this up and
Oh,
misses. Wow.
a double coming up for Kevin now.
When you think about it, I'm a pretty aggressive player when I get off track, and I try to bite off as much as I can chew because I feel like my scramble game inside that 200 feet, you should be able to come pretty close, like he just did. He hit a wall.
Yes,
but that was going into.
Wow.
Gannon's birdie is just feeling like a superhero play now with double bogey coming up, and McBeth going to tap in for his bogey. Gannon's about to get an insane number of strokes on the card just on one hole alone. Wow.
With that being said, I think that the way that all these guys play, you think you're probably fine.
Sure.
But that is the one place, maybe on tour this year, where if you do make a mistake, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Isaac Robinson, a slow start. This is a front nine that really favors his strengths, in my opinion, and he's going to have some work to do in the back nine now just to kind of claw his way back up. And we see some good scores coming in. Former winner of this event, Nico LaCastro, is in the clubhouse right now at 10 under. We got some other scores at 10 under, quite a few actually. That's the number to beat right now. And that's a good score on this course. Back in the day, that same score on this very same course that we're playing right now is it a 13 under or a 14 under?
It's 4 shots.
It's so 14 under if we're playing the same exact course, just the different par designations
just
4 years ago.
Yeah, we are playing the exact same course we've always played, but they've changed the par 4 shots harder.
Yeah,
just to make it.
And the only thing that makes it any different is that they've planted a few of those trees on a couple different holes that make them maybe a little bit harder. They're kind of in the prime fairway area. But yeah, wow. So we saw a lot there on the front nine. My goodness, Gannon taking 8 strokes on the card on that final hole.
A lot more golf to come here from Waco. We will be right back with the back nine from round 1. See you then.